everyone. I'm Randy Gore, and thanks for being with us for our fall sports preview as we talk water polo now with assistant coach Joe Hollo. Coach, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Randy. Good to be here.
Now, we have two teams to talk about for water polo, so we'll start with the girls squad, a group that won 12 games last year, finished sixth place in the state of Pennsylvania. The team loses a very good one in the water polo player of the year for the girls in Becca Melanson, but a ton of talent returning. Who do you look to in terms of filling the shoes of Becca Melanson and company?
Yeah, Becca's, it's hard to fill those shoes, right? Like Becca is a special athlete, right? An All-American, an All-State, a captain, just a really great all-around athlete in person. Becca's off to UCLA, so we wish her nothing but the best. But she, I think, was a big help in getting our team to understand how to play with and without her, right? I mean, in any sport, you always have to be prepared to play without any of your starting athletes. And, we tried to keep that in mind last year that, Becca one day will graduate and to develop people to play in those roles. And we have a very nice group of athletes on the team, great people, great students, and great players. We have some really good returning senior leadership, at various positions in the field and in goaltending. That'll, really help us try to fill in those shoes. But again, Becca, one of our top goal scorer of all time. And, again, one of the best water polo athletes in the East Coast. You just don't step in and fill those shoes immediately, but you do it as a team. So that's what we'll do.
Now, you mentioned goaltending. You have a player, second team All-State in net in Izzy Trunzo. How impressive is she in net, and how much will she be counted upon as a senior leader?
Izzy will be counted on tremendously as a senior leader and as a goaltender. Izzy, has great work ethic, has great talent. She's a great person, great skills. But goaltending, it's a team effort, right? As great of a goaltender as you might be, you have to play with the defense in front of you, and they have to support you, and you have to direct them. So it's really team defense as well as your individual skills and all the things that you train for. But that should be one of the highlights of our team.
Some great youngsters on the team as well, including Michaela Dasanaiki, the Pennsylvania Rookie of the Year, all freshman team selection, Bella Spino. Tell us about them and what kind of role they'll have in year two with the Tigers.
Yeah, Michaela, Bella, special young players, athletic, fast, know how to handle the ball, aggressive. And then there's other ones as well, coming up. Tori Tiepo comes to mind as someone with tremendous swimming ability, tremendous toughness, and athletic ability and potential in the sport. Haven't played, some of them haven't played water polo all that long, but they caught on really quick last year as freshmen. And, we know they'll be strong portions of our team as well. We'll be a younger team this year in a lot of ways, but we also have the right level of experience that we think that we'll do well.
Now, looking at the boys program, 9 players graduate from a team that finished third place in the state. So maybe somewhat similar where you have to reload with a younger group. How did the Tigers accomplish that as far as a reload this year?
It's a really special group that graduated for us. We had seniors at 6 out of the 7 starting positions last year that were all multi-year lettermen. They were an outstanding squad. A lot of them are going off to play in college. We got to reload, right? The players underneath them know that. We have returning seniors. We have a nice group of seniors that will be playing with us. But when you have 6 out of your 7 starting lineup, move on. The new roles are to some degree up for grabs, right? You need to see who can step in, who can fill in. The good news is we have a lot of answers, we think, to that. We think we have a lot of depth on our team as well. We had a very strong JV squad last year that was in the top 2 or 3 programs in the state. So a lot of those kids will be moving up and playing varsity this year, we know, as well as the kids that were on varsity last year that didn't have starting roles. They're ready to play as well. Boys and girls have had good club seasons. A lot of our kids play together throughout the year in club water polo, and that prepares them when they need to step in and play varsity for North Allegheny. They're ready to go.
You mentioned that there are some significant seniors coming back. Tell us about them.
Well, I mean, I would start with Camden Wright. You know, Camden was a starter last year. Camden played wing, but Camden's also a very strong center. He can also play up at two. So Camden, he's a versatile, strong, committed long-term athlete. Anthony Hollo, my son, strong player, has improved a lot over the course of the last year, physically and, with his capabilities. John Mowry, John's been with us, for 6 years now from middle school. Very athletic kid, moves around well, has great sense, great game sense in the water. Colton McCartney, also very fast, knows how to get the ball in the goal, very good on counterattacks. Shrikar, strong player as well. So we have a good group of seniors that can come in, but we also have other players that are underclassmen that are juniors that are extremely strong, extremely athletic, extremely good swimmers, and some very strong sophomores from our JV squad, as well as some what looks to be good goaltending. Not proven at the varsity level, but we like what Mike can do. We've seen him work extremely hard at the JV level, at the club level, and we know he's ready to move into the high school level now as well.
Yeah, last year as freshmen, guys that made a splash, Mason Shantz, Mike Stefanko, and Matthew Woods, all chosen for the all-freshman team. How much will they be counted upon this season?
They'll be counted upon a lot. We just, they were very active through our club season. We just finished a tournament with them out in Michigan where they all played. There's 16U players, but they played 18U and they looked right at home. So they're ready to go. They're strong. They're athletic. They're hungry. They're competitors, and all our kids know they need to be physical. It's a contact sport. You have to be ready for that. And Coach Matanovich is great at training them in all those ways so that they're ready to go when it's time.
When you look at both teams, anybody that we haven't spoken about to this point that we should expect to hear from?
I especially on the girls' side, yes. Our seniors on the girls' side, we haven't really spoken to Carissa Jones and Katusha Paragonchev. Outstanding. Them with Izzy gives us a really great trio of returning seniors, returning starters. Carissa and Katusha are, I forget the levels of All-State, but they were All-State performers as well. They've done a lot of training. They've trained very hard in the off season. They're going to be ready. They're going to be ready to step into those roles and fill those shoes, that Rebecca leaves. But, those are the two that come to mind that we definitely need to speak about, because they're going to be a lot of statistics, a lot of good play from them. And they're very strong leaders. We have really high character, high leadership kids on our squads. And they train very hard at what they do. They love what they do. They love the sport. And, we really enjoyed being a part of the team with them.
And after successful campaigns for both teams last season, which has really been a run of great success in recent years, what are the expectations for this year's teams in water polo in 2023?
We expect them to compete. We expect them to do well. We expect them to win their share of games. It's less clear, right, when you have that many All-State and All-American players kind of moving on, what your level of expectation is. So we don't want to set any in this particular time. As we get through our early season training, we have 3 weeks of hard training leading into our first competition against Erie McDowell on September 5th. As we head into the season, as we see, who's playing where, how people are playing, then we'll set our goals. But right now, our goal is to compete, be physical, train really hard in the early season, and good things will happen for these teams.
That's assistant coach Joe Hollo, the North Allegheny water polo team. Coach, thanks so much for your time today, and good luck to you and the team the rest of the way.
Thank you, Randy. Appreciate it.
That's water polo fall preview 2023.